Yeah, it was a good practice. I thought the offense got off to a really good start today. Ran the ball well, made some nice plays in the run game, and made some plays in the perimeter too. So it was, again, one of those practices that I think the offense probably started with the upper hand and started fast, and then I thought the defense did some good things in the red zone and in the 2-minute drill. Again, I think the big thing, Dan, is now we just have depth, and even when you look at it, Banks isn't even in there, but we after every scrimmage we have a personnel meeting, and at that point you really talk about, okay, who's above the line, who's at the line, and who's below the line, and anyone at the line or above the line can play snaps and help you win, and we're really in a range of almost 10, 11, 12 people that we think can play there, which is a great situation to have. I mean, if you just look at the tackle position, if you get Banksy back, and then, I think Zeke Rodney is playing at a pretty high level. Willie Yarberry has made nice progress.
And he started the scrimmage. Those two started inside the scrimmage.
Yeah, and then Chris Stewart has been hurt the last few days, and, Alante Bateman is coming up, and you have Sheldon Lewinson back. So there's some people we can roll through there, and, that's a position that, if you're playing D linemen more than 50, 55 snaps a game, they're really going to wear down.
Oh, yeah.
That's a position that you need fresh guys, but you can only keep guys fresh if there's more playable guys. So obviously we need to stay healthy, but we are establishing depth there. And then, at defensive end, Duke is Duke, which is, I mean that, I think, he can. I mean, Duke's a guy that when he was healthy last year, was a high-level player for us, and he's getting better. I think Wendell's getting better. I think Paris Black has great upside and great potential. I really like. I think Rashawn Shaw is coming on. Chris Calhoun is very quietly having a really good spring for us.
Good.
I mean, it's really. Last year he was kind of a little bit of a one-dimensional guy that he could rush the passer and drop. And now his ability to play the whole defense and fit in the run game, those are all things he's really, really improved on. And we really should have tried to redshirt him last year. We just couldn't. When Duke couldn't play the first half of the season, we didn't have a choice. But I really like the work he's doing and the progress he's making.
Lamont was in there today a whole lot, and I'm not used to seeing Ali Lamont out there.
Yeah, I mean he's getting good work too, and he's a very strong guy.
Okay.
He really is. Ali is a great student. He's always on our academic board and a Dean's List guy, and he's made such progress in the weight room. He's become one of our very strongest players. He's starting to translate that to the football field.
Good.
So he made. I saw him in the backfield a couple times today, and over our first few years here, that didn't happen a lot, and that's starting to happen more and more. And what's even more impressive is it's happening against better players.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like, okay, he's with the threes and he's going against a freshman or something. He's another guy that, he's pushing to be in that group of 10 to 12 players that are playable, and now they're all fighting for reps, and that's a good problem. He's not where the other guys are. Sheldon last year was the strongest player on the team weight room wise. He is in the weight room. He just puts up ridiculous numbers. But you can tell that what we do in the off-season program helps. His movement skills right now aren't where the other guys are. His conditioning level isn't where the other guys are, and it shouldn't be. If it is, then what we do in January and February is a waste of time. So to me, it's a good thing that he's not in shape, because it shows what we've done here in January and February matters to those other guys and does make a difference. Part of it was, at the end of the year that he was, he has not played a lot here in his time, and then at the end of last year, he played a lot. And I think not playing those couple of years got him a little bit frustrated.
I got you.
And we basically, he said, we told him we wanted him back,
okay.
and he said he wasn't sure. We were ready to move on without him.
Right.
And we didn't have a scholarship for him. But then when we had a guy leave, He had been in touch with Coach Cohen and said he really wanted to come back.
Second thoughts.
And yeah, but we didn't have room for him because we were at our cap. And then when a guy left, we had room, and it was one of those things that I ran by the team, and I just said, listen, how do you guys feel? And it just was overwhelming that they love him.
Good.
Coach,
Good.
He's
Good.
one of our brothers. We love Sheldon. We really want him back. And just as a head coach, I didn't think it was right. He missed all that time. And so, he had to make up those workouts before he could, all the early morning workouts we had, Sheldon would have to make those up.
Good.
And that was going to be one of the conditions. And Sheldon said, yeah, absolutely. He goes, I needed to help myself get in shape.
Yeah.
But, what was neat was just when I brought it up to our leadership group, you could just tell how much they want him as a teammate.
Good.
And so we're thrilled to have him back. He's behind, but he'll get there. Well, the progression of Pike I'm thrilled with. That I think Devin's a guy maybe a little bit like Sheldon that played here earlier before he was ready. We should have redshirted him, but we didn't have any depth at tight end. With Cam, the backup tight ends have had very limited reps.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, he never got a lot of reps in practices, and he never got a lot of reps in games. The only way you get better as a football player is by playing football. And now he's getting all these reps in the jumps he's making. He has gone from a guy that probably, maybe we could only get 10 to 15 good reps, that he's now preparing like a starting tight end. And I think if he had to play 40, 50 snaps in a game, that he could do that. The scrimmage the other day, he played 51 plays. He's never played 51 plays here in a scrimmage in a game since he got here. And playing 51 plays is a lot different than playing 20. The focus level, playing when you're tired, seeing the signals, and I think that really helped him, and he played well. So, it'd be really nice that Cam Serenay, I think, is one of the best tight ends in the country. I think he's proven that the last 2 years. But to start building depth and maybe be able to spell him, or to be able to play with two tight ends a little bit more than we have, those are all things that as Pike raises his game, makes us a little bit more, gives us another facet on offense. It allows us to keep Cam healthy, keep him fresh, and also maybe getting two tight ends a little bit more than we have.
Right.
Oh yeah. I
He's
like.
got good hands,
yeah,
right?
He does. He's going to be a good player. And he's a guy again that I think in a perfect world you redshirt him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's probably an injury away from having to go. But he's a worker. He loves football. Anytime a guy gives up their second semester, their senior year of high school to join a Division I college football, you don't do that unless you love football. And his work ethic, and again, the strides he's made, because we get things, most of the team is back. So we get the whole offense installed in 5 practices. So if you're a freshman that just came in here in December, you're spinning. And you've got to really, the treadmill's going fast, and it's always interesting, what guys try to step off the treadmill and what guys that press the up button. And he's, coming in extra and meeting, and it's really important to him. And anytime a guy is a hard worker that it's important to, those guys always end up playing for you. Again, Dan, we're just playing football. Usually my second scrimmage is much more situational, and I don't think we'll do as much of that. I want the guys to play. I just think getting out there and letting them play and see the sticks and the down and distance and making his game light, I just think we are a very, very experienced but young football team. And a lot of our depth are guys that are we've redshirted 34 guys here the past 2 years. And so a lot of these guys haven't played a lot of game-like football. And I just think, in practice we control situations. This is red zone, this is third downs. I think in the scrimmages the idea is let them play and let them process the situation. Don't tell them, hey, it's red zone. Make them figure out we're now in the red zone. Don't announce that it's 3rd and 4. Make them see that it's 3rd and 4. And they'll make mistakes doing that. But those are the teachable moments it's why as coaches you love spring.
Yeah.
You get to fix those problems without it costing you a football game. I saw the clock and I'm like, you better hurry. And, we try to get our kickers game-like situation, and so much of our kicks is it's PAT field goal time. So they line up there, we kick field goals. Okay, now it's in the flow of the game. The last guy you think that's going to have the problem with it is the kicker, and he's going through it like it's PAT field goal period. It's like, in the games there is a game clock. Yeah, I know. Those are the things that you hope to get in the scrimmages, that there is the 40-second play clock or the 25-second clock. They're forced to play faster. There are officials. That was great for us last scrimmage.
Yeah.
Our receivers have probably got away with some holds on the perimeter. And, then they get in the scrimmage and they're like, what, me? Yeah, you.
The picture was called out there today.
Yeah, those are things that's why we try to have officials here, because if you don't have the officials, players, they're competitive and they're going to get any advantage they can. And if there's not officials here, there's a lot of advantages you can get. Yeah, he's you're not going to be able to scrimmage, but he's going to be able to go through individual drills.
Cool.
And that's where he is in his rehab. So, at least he'll get in pass game a little bit. And
I won't get in the spring game either then, I guess.
Probably not. No, we'll know next week, but I would say I would guess that's unlikely.
So basically it's going to be Bell and
Cade Carney,
I guess.
On Saturday, and then hopefully we'll get Rocky back for the spring game.
Okay.